Hey guys, how y'all doing? Happy. Well, this is like what the 10th already into the Halloween season. So, I mean, I was gonna talk about horror films and stuff like that, but there's something on my chest that I really need to, get off of. That sounds weird. To get off of completely, and how should I say this? It's a very interesting subject. Just Saturday. Sorry about that. Just Saturday. It was Extreme Rules, and something miraculous happened. Yeah, I watch wrestling here and then, but Bray Wyatt returned, and half of Twitter is just having a meltdown in excitement. So there's that. So everybody is just having their shit. They're just losing their shit, and I don't blame them because I think Bray Wyatt is really one of those great technical wrestlers, and I really think that WWE messed up the first go around by letting him go, and we should all thank Triple H for bringing him back. I can't wait to see who else is gonna come back. So there's that. But I will tell my friend about it. I'll tell my mom about how excited it was. And she's like, I don't want to watch anything about wrestling. I don't want to watch anything about wrestling completely. And I asked her, and she's like, because wrestling's a dirty sport. And I just have to get this off my chest. Wrestling is not a dirty sport. Any sport in history got, a dirty underbelly. Completely. I mean, like, there's no doubt about it. Like, if you think of wrestling, you just think of, people getting hit with steel chairs, getting a belt, and that's it. Like, there's no story whatsoever. There's story in those fights. Who's gonna turn on who? Who got a second conscience? Who decided to be in on themselves? That kind of stuff. So I wanted to come out here and vent my feelings about that because, some people are like, well, what about Japanese wrestling? Wrestling in general is just a dirty sport. And when my friend, I talked to her about it, she's like, it's been a dirty sport since what Chris Benoit did. And that's sad. I have to vent this out because literally I just want to come out and say everything. Chris Benoit did not destroy wrestling. He fucked up his own goddamn career. There, I said it. Wrestling is not a dirty sport. If that's the case, football's a dirty sport. With all this shit that been happening behind the scenes, okay. Basketball is a dirty sport. You can think of a couple of times that basketball reared its ugly head. Figure skating is a dirty sport. Tanya Harding, Nancy Kerrigan. God and a nod did Tanya Harding lose a freaking black eye on figure skating, but we talked about it, so it must have been something great. So there could be that. Soccer, FIFA. There you go. Every sport has dirtiness to it, but it always seems like wrestling is the ugly, evil stepchild that nobody want to talk about. No, first of all, wrestling is not fake. Storyline reasons, maybe. But, those injuries. Okay, so you just got a special effect person to, cause you to get bones breaking. You gonna tell those people who, can't walk anymore. You can walk. It's just pretend. No, you gonna tell them that? Really? And the word problem is how everybody gonna say wrestling's a dirty sport and have no value, but everybody loves the Rock. Batista, everybody else. Like, you forgot where they started. Okay. Just because a few rotten eggs destroyed the freaking farm does not mean that all the rest of those eggs are wicked. It's not the case. So I'm just gonna come out and say wrestling is not a dirty sport. It's just an interesting sport for those who don't get it. If you don't like fighting, okay. If you don't like sports for it's not entertaining, okay. But you don't have to say that it's a dirty sport because you're fighting for something and then you lose the belt. What's the point of fighting for a championship if you're just gonna lose it? It's because it's a tournament. Okay? That's like saying, how come Miss United States got win? Why can't she keep the whole tiara? Because you gotta pass it on to somebody. You gotta do records, but yeah, those are for people who don't really care about wrestling. But I just want to come out and say that, and a lot of people are talking about Should Chris Benoit be put in Hall of Fame? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I think Nancy, Benoit should get it before him. She was considered the first valet. The girls that usually walk, the wrestler down to the ring, the pretty ones, the ones that don't speak, the one that, would help cheating, but she won't get hurt. The damsel in distress for some, and the vixen, the one that lure for the others. You always have a heel valet, who would distract the referee or would use her beauty to distract the wrestler that they're fighting and they win. Or the damsel in distress, using the valet who walks the face down there. All those kind of stuff. This was before when women had to wrestle even with you were a valet. That's just how it is. This is like way, way, way. This is around my mom's time. Completely. So, but I just want to vent my anger out. And people are like, well, time has passed. Maybe Chris Benoit can get into the WWE Hall of Fame. Hell no. He'd rather go to hell first than get. No. Absolutely not. Every time people think of wrestling, they either think some good or some bad. But to some people, when they think of wrestling, they just think of Chris Benoit murdering his kids. That's how it is. Chris Benoit eliminating his kids and eliminating his wife. That's the only thing. So to be really honest, no, Chris Benoit should not be put in no Hall of Fame. He should not be put in a Hall of Fame for New Japan Pro Wrestling, NWA, WWE, WCW. I don't care. He don't need to be in anything. Okay. I was around the time where Chris Benoit did that crap. Me. I remember that day. That day was horrifying. Everybody in my school was like, yo, you heard Chris Benoit hack his family? What? No way, bro. That's a lie. Then come out, bada bing, bada boom. He did. No. That traumatized people. That's the type of crap that you wish you could get the Thanos snap. If people could get the Thanos snap to erase Chris Benoit, they would. If they could get that thing from Men in Black when you look at the red button and flash to just forget everything about him, they could. He don't deserve to be in any Hall of Fame. He don't deserve. He don't even deserve a mention. I know what they say. You died 2 times. When your body's in the grave and when people don't say your name no more. I think literally we should mention Nancy more than we can mention him. Because anytime someone always say, hey, you want to watch wrestling? No, all that blood and gore and stuff. I mean, did that guy ask his family when he was a wrestler? That's the whole thing for some people. And that sucks. Because you can't see, like, good wrestlers or stuff. Nobody wants to see it because that's the first thing that comes to their mind. That guy that asked his family. That's just how it is. And I personally think since he literally scarred wrestling so badly, we should not give him the benefit of a doubt to put him in any Hall of Fame. There, I said it. I said what I said. I said what I freaking want to say. This is my channel. I don't care. Chris Benoit should not be put in anything but in the pits of hell. There you go. I said it. I said what I said. I know people out here be like, no, don't say that. You don't understand. You don't get it. Okay, then tell that to Nancy's family then. Tell them. Tell the general public, hey, we're going to put Chris Benoit in the Hall of Fame. And watch half of the world melt. That man is despised. I don't care how many good matches he won. You did what he did. Your son didn't have to go out like that. He didn't. Your wife didn't have to go out like that. I don't care about you CTE. I don't care. He should have took his own life, if that's the case. Why you gotta bring your kid and your wife? Your kid who looked up to you completely. And your wife that was there through thick and thin. Really? There is no way in hell I would sit there and would say, yeah, that's a good idea. You already saw what they did with Fabulous Moolah. Really? Half of the freaking wrestling world nearly freaking went red wedding on everybody. What? But the crap that woman did, like, I know people say, well, you can't disrespect the dead. These women are just bitter because, they didn't become successful. Okay. Okay. Okay, yeah. Tell that to the fan page that got her goddamn WrestleMania, the Fabulous Moolah Women Royal Rumble tournament. Really? What about China? Huh? What about her? She was a pioneer. You could have named that after her. But then at the time, yeah. Stephanie and China. Whatever. You could have named after anybody. Sensational Sherry. Miss Elizabeth. You know what I'm saying? Somebody. I mean, we already have the Mae Young tournament, but some of them. Now you had to pick the fabulous moolah. Every damn wrestling sheet, podcaster, radio person, everybody sat there and looked at that and said, "Who bright idea was this? Who approved of this? Who sat there and said, I think it'd be a better idea to put her on there? What do you think, Craig? Yeah, let's put her in there. Nobody gonna know the difference." Really? Really? Come on, man. I'm thinking about going live on Instagram to vent my feelings about this because this is. I'm going to because I got more to say about that. But I wrote down notes. Yeah, I wrote down notes because this is what I'm going to talk about: wrestlers that should not be recognized or anything else. Got notes. That's for the Halloween season. Notes and thought process we went through. Chris Benoit should not be anywhere near a Hall of Fame. There are people that should not even be in Hall of Fame, and there's some people who should be taken out of the Hall of Fame. Donald Trump should have not been in the Hall of Fame. His ass should have been dragged the fuck out. You could have replaced him with something else. You could have replaced him with Cyndi Lauper. Kick his ass out. Put in Cyndi Lauper instead, because she was during the MTV era of WWF. At the time, it was WWE now, but still. But Cyndi should be taken out completely. She need to be axed. Got arrested in less than a week, and now, your DWI, killing, ending an old person's life because you decided to be a drunk driver, Sonny? Really? And that freaking porn tape that nobody wanted to see? Yeah, she need to go. Dynamite Kid, we all know about Dynamite Kid. If you have not watched Dark Side of the Ring, go watch it. Him and freaking Jake the Snake Roberts' father should also be snatched out of there. They all need to go straight to the pit of hell. I'm just gonna put it out there. I don't care. But Chris Benoit should not be anywhere near a Hall of Fame. Period. I don't care if people go by my comment section. How are you gonna see that? He is legendary. He is iconic. He is great. We should recognize him. Okay, then tell that to Nancy and Daniel's family then. Looked them dead in the face and said, "We don't care. We still think he should be in the Hall of Fame." Do it. Because I guarantee you, better yet, tell it to people who lived through that era, like me. We're going to put him in Hall of Fame because we're fake, but you're not going to put fucking Miss Elizabeth in there. You're not going to put Nancy in there. She was iconic. She was the first valet, actually, if you do research on it. There was never no such thing as a woman walking a man down the ring and look gorgeous and beautiful. What? Usually you have the male managers that do that. What? You. Listen. You should take Sunny out. And you should take Triple H out. Oh, I'm sorry. You should take Tony out. Sorry. Triple H they need to be a special week for Triple H. For real. Like, we don't need everything else, but, like, okay, if you want to get rid of Ultimate Warrior, rechange that war to Triple H, I'll be okay with it. Triple H has been in Hall of Fame more than once. That motherfucker. D-Generation X and fucking the Horseman. That man been in more Hall of Fame than I think of. That man should probably just have his own wing. All he need to, because that motherfucker had been in everything. I'm sorry, let me take that back with you. But you should take Sunny out And I don't even know, but if she's in there, you should take Fabulous Moolah out and replace her with Miss Elizabeth. Because Miss Elizabeth to this day is considered the first lady of wrestling. Period. First female manager. The storyline she was in with Macho Man, the wedding made in heaven, all those freaking storylines that she been in, and she ain't in Hall of Fame. Come on now. Come. Come. I mean, that's a symbiote sentence. Like, you could have put Nancy Benoit in there as a woman. You know, you remember half of those shows of her being a woman. Men can see it, men can dream it, but they can't touch it. I mean, you could put her in there. Like, she was iconic as well. Not that many people knew about it, but you know what the sad part about it? Everybody knew about it because she married Chris Benoit, and now look what happened. Like, freaking New Jack, R.I.P. to him, New Jack said that Nancy was a friend of his, and anything that Chris Benoit did in his life that was great, all went out the damn window with what he did. For real. You know, that man was crazy. You know, New Jack was crazy, but what he said in that little bit of time that he was with us made fucking sense. I'm venting. Yeah, I just want out there like wrestling is not a dirty sport. Hell, any sport got dirty underbelly, but just because, you know, whatever. That's just how I feel. My friends are, but everybody. I don't have special effects with things, so please excuse me. But, yeah. So that's my vent. No, I got more to vent. I got more to vent. No, I got more. I'm venting today. You're gonna see some of those videos of me venting. It might be an hour video, so I don't care. We watched, we evaluated Blonde. I did a movie review saying it's cute. And, okay, it's cute. Sure, whatever. We watched it again. I'm gonna have to take back my "it's cute" review. I'm gonna have to. It was downright disturbed. There, cute as if okay, it was decent there. It was fine there. But watching it again and after hearing Mary Monroe's "My Life" on Audiobook, which is actually a real biography that was written by Mary Monroe. Yeah, she had an actual book. Could do anything with that. But Joel, person who wrote Blonde, you need to be ashamed of yourself. Remember, you really need to be put in a dungeon. That's what you need. You need to get Thanos. No. The whole movie was interesting. People say that it might get an Oscar. I doubt it. I doubt it. I mean, Anna, the girl who played as Marilyn, hands down. If I have to give an Oscar to somebody, she will be the one to get it. But everything else, no. It was cute. But it was cute too. That was trash. Is that a complete change because everybody else is doing it? No. It was trash. It was cute for some parts, but the rest of it was trash. The cute parts were the cinematography, the costumes, everything else that was great, but everything else was trash. I'm sorry. That was a horror film. And it's Halloween, and I don't think making a horror film about someone's tragedy is worthy of the time. So, but yeah, trash. So that's my vent. That's my vent. And now we're going all the way now to notes. My mom will be part of it. So I'm going to do countdown. Got my notes. I also want to talk if anybody think that this should be the new notebook, period, because my other notebook is a little bit thin. Hold on. It was the first notebook I got when I first started. Dang it. it was this one. Yeah. This is a little thinner compared to this one, which is like a freaking book. So I want to know. I'll probably put this on like IG, like which book should I use from now on. But whatever, pretty cool. But got notes, got notes. So your girl, it notes the held down boots, cause that's just how it is. So, but yeah, I'm just really ready for you guys to take a look at this. I'm really ready for you guys to really take a good. So, alright guys, so let me just I wrote down all my horror film list. And I know you say, girl, why you don't get your shit together when you I was like, why would you get your stuff together when you don't? And I gotta say, guys, I gotta, your girl is new to this. She's new to this kind of stuff, y'all. You gotta give me some, you know, yeah, wait for me right here, man, because I'm new to the game. I can't get all the stuff correctly, so I gotta, you know, it's strange, but it's it's new. I made a whole list of it, and oh, God Almighty. But I want to do some honorable mentions. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to find my notes. I know what you say, girl. Why do you need notes? Because your girl here, you know, she ain't that good. Okay, I told y'all, but I don't have the fabulous. I don't have the list of things that people have. I don't have those gorgeous things of editors. I ain't got no editors now, unless you guys know somebody who do know have editors. Cool, but your girl don't. But if you know anybody, hit me up because I need some assistance. Okay, so I got my best here. I got my list, my setups here. So everything is just kind of fit it itself. So alright. So I got all my stuff and everything like that. So alright. Okay. So I'm gonna do some honorable mentions because honorable mentions is like horror films that made it, but they did not fully make it. So the horror film I'm gonna talk about is gonna be called Dream Home. It was alright because it's a story about this lady who would do anything to get an apartment, who would do anything to get a uh condo that is building around her neighborhood, and she just don't really care how it happens. She just really just lost her damn marbles. So I love it. It's a good film. Yeah, I suggest anybody see it. I mean, it's just one of those films that you have to, you know, to give Steve of her goal because the whole film was great. I mean, it's a really cool film. However, I seen it. It's a good film. It's a good film. But otherwise than that, it just did do for me because a lot of people say it's a horror film, but to me, it didn't have that horror aspect to it, so I couldn't really consider it a horror film. I mean, it just did do much. Yeah, it did do too much for me. It did do a lot because it was like, okay, it's a good film. Yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. I love Josie Hall in this film. She was great. She was great playing this unhappy woman. She's at her wits' end, taking care and stuff like that. She was great. She was wonderful, but mm, I'm sorry. It's an honorable mention for a freaking reason. And I looked down the whole list. I know a lot of people are like, well, why you took down a whole damn list if you don't know? Because I can. But like the film itself, I can't say that it's a good. It just didn't do well for me. Sorry. Sorry, but Dream Home is getting the honorable mention. It just did. A lot of people say it's a horror film. It's a horror film. Not really. It's just literally a crime drama, a suspense mystery thriller kind of thing. That's all there is to it. So it got honorable mention, but I will give it credit. I will give it credit where credit is due, but I can't sit there and say that this is a good film because it's okay. I would I would say it's a good film, but it's an okay film. But otherwise than that, I mean, I think people should really see it. Yeah, it's an okay film. I mean, it's okay. I'm so sorry, guys. That's just my opinion. And now I lost my notes. Hold on. Okay, yeah, there you go. Sorry. It was not good. It was not that good. It's got honorable mention. So anyway, now that we got that out of the way, because I know fan base is gonna be like, "Girl, how many notes you took?" I take down notes because technically I'm not that good at like saving stuff. So I take down notes on. I can't tell you this shit. It's just fucking notes. Oh, let's move on. We'll start my countdown, y'all, off my good, notebook. I'm also gonna be doing an Eager Allan Poe countdown list as well as favorite stories that got turned to movies. So I will be taking a look at that. I'm also going to be doing a rant about the new Mario movie that came out. Well, trailer. Okay. That's all I'm going to say. I mean, the graphics are top notch. However, you could get original voice actors to play these characters. I know everybody want to do like Hollywood. I know everybody want to be like Sonic the Hedgehog, but, whatever. They might make a sequel like years later, and then they might actually use the real voice actors for the original characters. So whatever. I don't care. We'll see. But I can't get this up. So here's my list of my favorite Hong Kong Chinese horror films. I know a lot of people are like Hong Kong. It's like yes, Hong Kong and East Asia, Hong Kong films were and still is the crap. I can't say shit. Okay, was the shit. It still is. I see like a couple of horror films from Hong Kong recently. I'll make a list of ones that I really like again. They're off the hook. I don't care what anybody said. Yes, I don't care. Even Thai horror films are off the hook for real. But nothing can be compared but Japan. Japan really made horror films. Ush. Okay, so they're the East, as everybody likes to say about Bianca Deville, Bianca Belair. It's the Ish. That's what it is. So my list I wrote about is number one. No, I'm not gonna give it in a countdown format, so I'm just gonna come out. The film that I really like, which I think everybody will probably put on their countdown, is Doctor Lamb, aka the Rainy Day Murder. This is actually based on a real crime that happened during the 80s. Simon Yun plays this deranged, mentally disturbed cab driver that picks up and unalive his female victims every time there's a rainy day. The film was weird, okay? It was so weird because it's based off the actual, actual crime. And it's just weird. I love Simon Sion in this film. Also, he's a great actor. If you saw some of his movie work stuff like that, man can act. Okay, that man, he played a sociopath. I mean, he played that character well, even though it's actually based off of like a true drama, a true crime drama. But it's just you just have to sit there and cut your pearls. I mean, also the special effects, is just completely at its time, it was out of control. It was way out of control, compared to what it was then. I mean, it was just, this crime was just actually a Hong Kong huge, or serial killer. Can't say the rest of the thing. That was in the '82, and it just boomed completely. It was just crazy, and it was wild because technically it was just I mean, I watched it with my mom, and my mom sat there. She's like, "This is what I call a horror film." It's like, well, this was actually one of those, true crime films that you would sit there and say that should be probably on serial, but whatever. I can't really talk about it, but it's a bunch of the base. But Simon Yam plays this guy, and he played him well, and he made you scared, he made you furious, and he made you just want to say, "Someone catch this guy." This film is my favorite because this is the one that introduced me to Hong Kong horror films, for real. Even though they said that this is a crime, this one right here has horror elements. Yeah, this is just one of those films that you sat there, you just go, "Wow." And the fact that it got a category 3, which is kind of like NC-17 rated R, like Hong Kong Motion Picture Center, it's just so freaking amazing. It's a really good film. I highly suggest anybody, if you want to see crime horror films in freaking Hong Kong, go and check this out, because I guarantee you, this film is that ish. Okay, this film is that ish. But I know a lot of people are like, "What the hell should be that ish?" It is. It's that ish. It's crazy. You gonna love it, because I said it was freaking wild and insane. It is wild and insane. It's just it's the best film to watch for the whole for the Halloween season, but at the same time, it's just one of those films that you sit there and you say, "Wow." And the scary part about it is this dude is still alive today in prison. He's serving life. He was supposed to be serving the death penalty, but because they swapped over the British rule, that he only got life in prison. I think he should have got the. No, let me shut up. let me shut up, because I'm not gonna say it. Might actually pull my thing, so I'm just gonna say that literally, he should have just been. He should have bit the dust. That's all I can say. But this film, round of applause for real. Round of applause. I also put down that if you really want to see something about horror films, it's this film called, which is also on the list, which I got everything on notes, so I guess you could say it's a teleprompter, but I also wrote it down as well. And it's also called The Human Pork Bun, or The Untold Story. This film is also a true crime film. It is based on the 8 immoral restaurant murderers, where this guy. How should I say this? This guy was into some gambling debts, and he got fed up, and he decided to end all members of his 10 family members in their restaurant. And in order for him to hide the bodies, he decided to cook them. That's all I'm gonna say. He decided to feed them to their people. And that's how it is. I mean, it's based off a story that literally he just kind of. it's just a really crazy film. Uh, I keep getting these fucking emails. Yeah, I keep getting emails, y'all. Sorry about that. But the film is just too good to miss. I mean, really, you're just. If you don't see these films, go see it. I mean, for real. Because you really, really, really go see it. Anthony Wong plays the main antagonist. And it's just really that kind of craziness. Anthony Wong won an award for his film that he was in called Hard Boiled, which is another great action film that people should really, really see. It's a really good one. But, I mean, Anthony Wong played his heart out in this role. I mean, for real. He was in, like, a lot of good films, but this one I personally think was, like, the film. Because he played, Johnny Wong in Hard Boiled, which was my friend's favorite film. And I just thought he was grand in that one. It was great, whatever. But that was my favorite film, and also The Untold Story was my favorite film. So technically, the gore, the idea of cooking your victims and giving them to the police. Spoiler alert. And and the fact that this was based off a true story is just really creepy because technically you're like, what the heck? But there are some comic elements to it that I just think people would actually like. And it's I love crazy films like these. You know what I mean? I love crazy films like these because these crazy films are insane. They are just those type of films that you sit there and say, ain't no way they could make something like this. Ain't no way. And it's like, yeah, they do that. They do that ish. They do that ish. And, I really do think that, mm, it's fab. It's fab. Yeah, I think the film is a really good film. It's my heart. I think Unearthed Videos is good to do a DVD release of um, Dr. Lamb, which I think Arrow's supposed to do it. I think Arrow is supposed. This is please sponsor my videos. but Arrow, I just realized that Arrow is supposed to release. This is this video company that finds unearthed videos that have never seen the light of day, and they go around and they see films that not that many people even heard of, or found lost films that they found, and they're supposed to re-release Dr. Lamb for their anniversary release. So that's alleged because hold on, let me see if it's on this. Dr. Lamb is like your girl trying to snack a pic. Yeah, but I think it's either them or yeah, it's I think it's Dr. Lamb pretty much. It was like unearthed films and unfound films also found those. So one of those films, I'll give you guys an update because I'm trying to snag myself. Tell you guys, I'm not that good. I don't want to be like that one that said, "Oh well, let me get back to you guys." So in case if I mess up, no, your girl gonna try to figure that stuff out quick on the dot because really I am a newbie. I have no talent. Ooh, they got on eBay. I got no talent of editing. I will go on here again, and you know what? I don't care because guess what? Ghost films, horror films, it it it, it it's just gonna be that good. And I don't care because technically I'm trying to snack myself one, and it's just a good film. But go and watch um the Untold Story because that crap is crazy. The yeah, I also got try to check it out on eBay, but you know it's just that good film. I suggest everybody who see it. I suggest that people go see that film completely because technically that film is off the hook, and I highly suggest people go see it because that film was crazy. That film is a crime horror and whatever, and also go and see the Untold Story because that film by itself is freaking insane. That film by itself is crazy. Oh, not only that, I just found out that it is on. Oh yeah, it is on eBay. So guess what? Go get it on eBay because it's on here. I'm gonna put that in my cart next Tuesday, but I can put that in my cart. I put everything in my Amazon cart, y'all. So I don't care what anybody says. I'm putting that in my cart. But go see it, and also go see Untold Story. It is insane. It is crazy. This film is just it's those type of films that you sit there, you say, where were you when it came out? Like you don't want to sit there and just say, oh, it's an okay film. It's not that. It's not all that. No, it's a bomb film for real. This is the type of film that you sit there and you say, I gotta see this one way or another because I'm not gonna be the one left out for nothing. Because this film right here, this film is the ish. It's the ish, okay? Because this film is just You would be shocked if this film was not made. You wouldn't believe this film right here. This film is made. That film is the dope. Okay, so I highly think people should see it, but that's just my opinion. There you go. But your girl man should find it, and I don't want to make sure that all my homies make sure that they get. But yes, Untold Story, another great film. I highly recommend people seeing it. Your girl is not that good at this thing, so I mean, if you guys have any editors or anybody that do so, please hit me up because I don't know how to do like teleprompters and stuff. So please excuse me. This film is great. Another film is also my favorite, which is There's a Secret in My Soup. That one is actually another one based off of a. There's another one that's also based off a true crime drama about the Hello Kitty murders in 1998, I think, 1995. And this film has been the subject of every horror film, every uh if you like crime dramas or crime horrors, There's a Secret in My Soup is just considered one of those films that you sit there, you say, who approved it? That's this type of film. Like, this film is just insane, crazy, insane in the membrane, insane in the brain. This is that type of film that you sit there, you just say, who sat here and approved it? That's the type of film this is. This film is just completely and utterly insane that literally you would believe it. But it's sadly based off a true story about a lady that ran around with the wrong group of people, and the wrong group of people end up sadly ending her. And it's just tragedy is that they cooked her, which I don't know what is going on with people back then that was just cooking people. It was the easiest way to do. Oh, I got this body. What am I gonna do? Cook it. And that's what they did. So they cooked the body, scraped off. I think they mentioned it on YouTube. You can check it out. The Secret in My Soup or the Hello Kitty murders, which was really bad because Sparrow, which is the creator for Hello Kitty, had to literally just go in full on damage mode. Like they literally had to say, no, this never happened, whatever. I mean, they literally had to moonwalk out of some of those damn stories because literally that stuff is just trying to save your face. That's all it is. Like they tried to save face. They tried to make sure that none of this stuff was gonna come out. None of this stuff was gonna be mentioned. We're gonna keep this hush hush, swept under the floor. Everything like that. But the media got hold of it, and the media was like, "Oh my God, are you serious? You gonna put this on here? Are you crazy?" It was just really huge at that time. My mom remembered it because it was like all over the news. So, all over international news when they mentioned about it. It was just a mess. It was just a mess, guys. It was really hard, but the film itself does have very dark, dark. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know if you want to really call it like uh a comedy. I don't even think. I mean, there were some dark, humorous things that happened in the movie. It's like they had dark elements in the film, but it just really didn't do well. I mean, this film came out in 2001, and they still talk about it. The Hello Kitties and stuff like that. I mean, it was just sad because it really happened in like 1999, which was when I was like 8 or something like years old, and it was all the news. Like my mom remembered it. Like it was all on CNN, international stuff like that, and it was just bad. I mean, If you Google it, the whole story is like the girl went through torturement and then kidnapping, drugged up, everything like that, and like the fact that like they interviewed like the neighbors of these guys that kidnapped this women and say that they would feed them those girls, this woman, and then like when they had the skull, you guys have to watch it. The film I watched it, at my friend's house, stuck in my mind forever. I mean, that film was just it was just wild. I don't think you can find the DVD anymore because I think literally they just kind of pulled the plug on it and everything like that. But that film is crazy. It's another true drama horror film because it's also based off a crime. So I think I got like Dr. Lamb, uh, the Untold Story, which is also known as Human Meat Bud, and there's a Secret in My Soup, which is Hello Kitty something. Surprised I got two food-based horror films. Strange. But yeah, so we're gonna get off of that. We're gonna transition to that. Another one of my favorite Hong Kong horror films. This is just really introduced me to like a lot of folk tales, and it's called The Green Snake. The Green Snake is a story about this old snake with her sister who lived 1,000 years, fall in love with this young scholar, and this monk is trying to tell this young scholar, "Hey, yo, bruh, your wife's a snake," And he's like, "What? My wife? No." And then come to find out, yeah, bro, your wife's a snake. And she gave birth to her baby. It's a really good story, but it's also based on folk tales. So we'll see sometimes it's like the monk versus the white snake, the white and green snake. Sometimes the stories just change, but my favorite story, and I loved it, is the Green Snake starring Joy Wool in it. And if she's also in another favorite film that I made. Hold on, let me my friend sent me emails. Y'all need to stop sending me emails. God. Sorry. Yeah, but it was also directed by Tusen Heng, who also directed another one of my favorite films. I'm not gonna mention. But it's also based off the folktale of the Mandarin White Snake. Sometimes it's also mentioned by the Green Snake, but I guess because of title changes and color, so I guess it changes throughout some part of time. But it's really based off a novel, which is amazing. Maggie Chung and Joy Wong played the two Snake sisters. So one played the Green Snake, and the one played White Snake, and it's just really. And plus, I love Joy Wong. I love Joy Wong completely. She's just beautiful to me. Uh, but the story is a horror story, but at the same time, it's tragedy, and it's just a beautiful love story, and so it's just a really sad story. It's a sad story, but it's a horror story because the sisters are monsters. They are snakes, and they do eat some men in the film, and there are some naughty stuff in the film. So I don't know if you want to call these. Sorry, I gotta add some of this stuff, bro. Thank goodness it's not for children, but it's just a film that you sit there, you just gotta say this is beautiful, but it's also scary. And the folk tales of like two and stuff like that. And I just really think that this film is just really a great film. I watched it and I tried to find the DVDs. You can tell it's a hard struggle trying to find some of these movies, but at the same time, finding them is just so good. And this is just one of those films that you just have to sit there and you just love it. It's just classic, just it kind of gives you Shakespearean drama with kung fu and demons. So it's just really that great film. So I highly suggest everybody to see it. It's a good one. It's a wonderful film, and you'll just have joy doing it. So just go see it. Yeah. So That's my list on there. Another list that I wrote down, and I think a lot of people are sometimes up in arms about it. Yeah, it's a little bit of a side eye. It's a very side eye questionable moment. I know this is really, really one of those great films, but Fruit Chan did his thing. If you already know the film that I like, congratulations. You're as disturbed as I am. And it's called Dumplings. Now, Dumplings is one of those films that was part of anthology films, which was a sequel to the first one, which is called Three Horrors, or Three Extremes, usually it's in Japan, which was a sequel to another anthology series, which is called Three. This one is actually called Three Extremes, which came out in 2004. And the film was so damn popular that literally they had to release it as a full feature film. And some of the stuff in that film will probably make you rethink of what you're eating. This woman, she thinks that she's not young anymore. She thinks that she's old. She thinks that So she met this cook, and this cook was like, "Hey, girl, psst, psst, I got something can make you look so beautiful that literally no man can, touch you, girl. I know what I'm doing, girl. This food's delicious." And this woman's like, "Really? It could keep me a man? Okay, fine." And she cooked her special. Let's just say the ingredients is something that literally a lot of conservatives would probably sit there and say, see, this is why Roe versus Wade, this right there. But spoiler alert, they're babies. You could Google Dumplings star, directed by Fruit Chan. You could watch it and see why this film got category 3 in Hong Kong or rated NC-17. Because that stuff, they had to edit some stuff out there. Or they had to edit some stuff. This is the type of movie that I don't even think Hollywood would want to do a remake on. Let me just put it out there. If they do a remake on this film, it's gonna be NC-17 just like Blonde. But then Netflix like, hey, we got talk with this. Let's do it. So that we don't know, but the subject matter in this film, it might cause you to probably go on a diet. Like, they literally will cause you to go on a diet. For real. Like, this is category NC-17 for the American viewers right now. But, I will say, after watching that film, I was a bit peckish and I did order myself some dumplings after watching the film. Am I messed up? Maybe, but the film itself is very, different. It's weird. It's weird. It's so good, but it's also weird. And I really think that Miri Yin plays the distressed. I want to look beautiful and I want to regain my youth. And, I want to do this stuff like that. Like she demands it, and Miri Yin, I think is Yeung. That woman should have gotten an award. Because some of the stuff that she did in that movie, you sit there, you say, "Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way, bro." Like that film by itself with her in it was crazy. She should have gotten an award. Matter of fact, let me type it up to see if she did get a dang award, because she did get an award. That's a sin. Oh no, but Bailey won an award. She's the one that Auntie May create her special dumplings. And it's freaking weird. It's weird. It's so weird, but the film is also good. I mean, it makes you want to have dumplings. But this film is really one of the best films of all time. It's on Amazon, I think. The original was actually based off of the short tale, but dumplings. Directed by Fruit Chad. I think you guys gotta type in Fruit Chad. His film's up there. But that man is crazy. That man crazy. He wasn't rap type when he made this, and we all thank him for it, because that's some crazy film that you sit there and just say, this is some insane stuff that you should not try at home, for real. Like, this takes I Want to Look Beautiful Again to a whole different subject. Like, this is God. Okay, this is out there God. Like, this is the type of film that you sit there and you say, ain't no way I'm watching this. This is the type of film that will kind of make you not want to. It'll make you step away from dumplings for a little while if you saw the whole film. I'm just gonna come out and say it'll make you step away. It's just Google dumplings. Just Google dumplings. Matter of fact, I think I made a list and I add dumplings in there for YouTube for best scary horror film. Google it and watch it, because you ain't gonna look at things the same way. It's freaking crazy. It's crazy, and I loved it. It was delicious. Okay, say delicious. That was wrong. I'm sorry. I got notes, and I'm taking down like so many windows on my notes and stuff like that. It's freaking ridiculous. But anyway, I know what it's a 2-hour film. I think it is. Okay. But yeah, I love it. Best film ever. Best film ever. I will definitely talk about that more when I watch it again and do a review. Because there no way in hell can you sit there and watch a film. Hold on, I'm thirsty. I made my own coffee. It's called Columbia coffee with California cream and Yoo-hoo. I'm sponsored. Okay. Another film, and this one right here is actually based off a series. So it's called the Mr. Vampire series. But I like part 1. And Mr. Vampire is pretty much a comedy action vampire film. It's just really a comedy horror, and when they say it's a comedy horror, that's exactly what it is. It's the best horror series franchise that spanned off from 1986 to 92. But like, I watched it when I was in high school, because they usually have it on TV of like, Hong Kong Horror Week when I was a kid. And it's a really funny film because it don't take itself that seriously. Ricky Hu is in it, which is, he's another great, Hung Po actor, singer, but he was just really funny in this movie. Like, he was classic. Everybody else, but he was my favorite, but everybody else in this film, especially Lam Shi-ying, who plays the unfortunate monk who's trying to save everybody in the movie, and he does pop up a little bit in part 2 and 3, but the film itself is just so good, man. It's also so funny. I just really like it. It really does, but it does have like martial arts, kung fu to it. So if you really don't know very much about a lot of horror, you know the kung fu, you know mythology, you know a lot of those stuff. It's just really one of those films that you sit there, you just say, this is insane, but I love it. It's just that good film. Like, a lot of people really loved it very well because, it's just kind of funny. It don't take itself that seriously. And, it's really good. I mean, the director was kind of worried that nobody was going to like it. Well, we're still talking about it to this day. So apparently he did something right. I mean, and apparently, the film was really popular. And it's a good film. It's a good watch. I mean, it didn't take itself very seriously during the time because the vampire craze was all over the place. A lot of people were taking it like a drama and stuff. But, I mean, they really made it like a horror comedy that you could probably sit there and laugh while also getting scared at the same time. So it was pretty good. It was a really good film, and I think a lot of people really enjoyed it because it was just like if you weren't that into horror films, it would be cool. And I liked it the fact that they still kept the horror comedy phrase about it in part two and definitely part three, which I thought was completely hysterically. I mean, I really like it, but I think part three is personally my favorite. But that's just me. But yeah, then they kind of went to a dark, call it dark, but like they did do like Magic Cop after that, which was like a spinoff and stuff like that. So it was pretty cool after that. It was really, really fun. And, they did My Date with a Vampire. So, that was also a comedy. So, it was all shot in a vein a little bit. But at the same time, it was just really fun to, like, really watch it. It was just really a good run. So, that was my favorite. And, there were some cool action scenes, cool kung fu scenes and stuff like that. So, it was pretty fun. It was pretty fun. And I really enjoyed it. I enjoyed the film a lot, and I just think people should see it. That's just it. People should see it. But yeah, but my last and certainly not least, and I love this film so much. I searched high and low for this film, and I would vouch for it. If it was the last film I have to see before the Earth caved in on itself, I would sit and watch it. And my favorite is A Chinese Ghost Story, not the 2001, not the 2011. I'm talking about the 1987 version of A Chinese Ghost Story. Leslie Chung, Joey Wong, Wu Bei. Those are the best setting characters in that whole damn film. I will vouch for it. I will take it to my grave to say that literally that is the best Hong Kong horror film of all time. For real. I mean, I will vouch for it. I will go down swinging. I will not accept nothing else. It's a story about this poor guy who's a tax collector. And he's stuck in this village, and mostly he's stuck in this haunted house. Where not only that, he got run away from this monk, who is like a rogue monk who's trying to capture this ghost, which is the tree ghost. No, tree demon. And this mean tree demon is holding hostage this beautiful ghost to use her beauty and seduction to attract these men so the tree demon can suck their souls so that way it can live and stuff like that. So the tree demon also is forcing her to marry this king of demons, the ruler, and you know poor little Ning, which is played by Leslie Chung, comes to her rescue, and chaos is ensured to like its final showdown. So I mean, it pretty much like has like a fairy tale element of like the damsel in distress and the Prince Charming, who was unfortunately a debt collector and stuff like that. And sorry, sorry. But the film was a huge hit when it came out, and it it it's a really it's a really. Hold on. I'm doing my video. That's my mom, ladies and gentlemen. She will be in my next video. So she will be on my next video because she wants to be in. So I'm sorry about that. But the film is a banger hit. It's a banger hit, and I love the theme song to it. I download the theme song. I'm new to this game, y'all. I need a studio. The film is a banger hit. I gotta like look at freaking notes and stuff. Like I already watched my videos. I'm like, but whatever. So like the film is the best film. I download it on Amazon. And I download it on every damn Amazon app I can get my hands on. It's a great film. I remember seeing it when it was at Film at the Gates in Chinatown, Boston, like a couple years ago, and I'm like, this is beautiful. Um, this is mostly one of Leslie Cho's favorite films, well, famous roles that he did. That and him being in A Bear Tomorrow, and A Bear Tomorrow Part 2, which R.I.P. to him. Best. But Inner Sense was another film that was gonna put on the list, but I didn't fully see the rest of it, so I can't really count as it very much. But this film is pretty much one of his best. Unless you want to look at other horror films that he was in, you could probably look at The Bride with White Hair Part 1 and 2, which is great. They did make Part 2 of A Chinese Ghost Story, which was... It was okay. I mean, the way Part 1 ended, it should have been left alone. That's just one of those moments, but I can't blame, there was another bigger hit, so it was a huge hit as well, but... Yeah, some of the cast from Part 1 did return a little bit in Part 2. And then you had some new cast members that came in Part 2, so it was pretty decent. But nothing beat Part 1. They always say it's hard to beat Part 1. And then the 2011 one, I'm going to leave it alone. I'm not going to insult. I'm just going to leave that alone. That was a film by its own stature. So, yeah. Yeah, so that's my Hong Kong horror films that I love completely. Oh, there is one horror film that I did watch and I think people should definitely see. Um, it's a good film, but I think I seen it and a lot of people seen it. And a lot of people think that it's a horror film, but Bless This House came out, I think, almost a year apart after. Um, Story about a haunted house, and the owner is, driving this person to the insane, to the brink. That could be put in a good horror film, but not that many people heard about it until recently when they started showing a little bit on TikTok. TikTok bring everything back from, I mean, for real. Yeah. But it did do some stuff like that, but at the same time, it was just weird. But the film is a banger hit. That and The Eye. Um, The Eye is considered good, but it was pretty much Eye Part 2 that did better. So that's a little bit, story about this lady, this violinist who's blind, and she decided to get surgery to see. And yeah, it's a success, but then she starts seeing ghosts that warned her about death. It's a good film. Part 1 and 2 is pretty good, but it don't get talked a lot about. So it's interesting. So, but that's it. That's my list. I also talk a little bit more. I'm not gonna say this for the next video. I'll probably make another video about that because I got a list of my favorite Japanese horror films, and that's a lengthy one. That's a very lengthy one. So it might be a 2-hour film. I probably already got half of these already done. I don't know how to make a script. I can't do edits. I don't have teleprompters. Like, yeah, because so and so. No, I gotta put it on screen. So I know a lot of people are like, well, why are you doing all that? It's weird. Well, because I don't have the money or budget for a lot of stuff. So unfortunately, I don't have edits. But I do have very extensive lists of films. So that's just how it is. But before I leave, there is another subject I want to bring up, which I mean, please excuse me, hear the theme song. I was watching Game of Thrones, House of Dragons, which I'm sorry, I don't think any prequel, any whatever it is, can actually save that film for what happened with the Starbucks incident. I'm just gonna come out and say that. I'm sorry. Star, yeah. I can't sit here with a straight face and sit there and say it's a great film. It's a wonderful film. It's fabulous. Yeah, but it's like, yeah, bro, you mostly know for that one. I'm gonna shut the heck up. I'm gonna shut up because that's rude and I should not be talking about them. So I'm gonna shut up. But I will be doing live reactions of me watching Halloween ends. If not, then I will definitely give a review. I haven't finished watching Hocus Pocus 2. Film is cute. It's really great. It shoots just in the same vein as part 1. It's really funny and it does a knowledge about technology now. So it's a really funny film, just as good as part 1. You really do get a good laugh about like how the sisters are trying to figure out what in the world is going on here. Like it's a fun film. It's funny film. It's charming. If you're a '90s kid and you grew up watching the first Hocus Pocus, I guarantee you're gonna be a little kid again watching this. So it's fun. It's a fun movie. Grim Cuddy's about to come out, so I might watch that, but I don't know. I might watch a drum, but I mean, it's all that. I mean, it's a good film, you know. But things I would want to bring up. This is a serious type of moment that I want to bring up to people, and I know a lot of people are gonna probably be mad about it, but I don't care because it's my channel. A lot of people are asking me, "Are you going to do a review of the new Jeepers Creepers Reborn?" The answer is no. No. Mm-mm. I said just like when I started with the wrestling thing about you're not getting recognized or stuff like that, and like I mentioned before in my last video, absolutely not. I would not be looking upon it. I will not be doing a review of Jeepers Creepers anything. I know a couple people did, and some people are like, it's okay. Some people are like, absolutely not. Me, I just don't want to give an abuser any kind of recognition. Google his name. Look at what he did. I'm not giving him that credit. I know a lot of people are like, can you separate the art from the director? A lot of stuff that was in his films are a little bit sus. You can look at every other YouTuber that mentioned that a lot of stuff in Jeepers Creepers is sus of what that man did. I'm not even going to fucking even mention his name. Just that guy. That's all you're gonna be. He knows that guy. I know it's Halloween season. I know a lot of people were like, "Well, let's just no." Just like some of these people that are on YouTube, just like some of these people on TikTok, just like some of these people, just like a lot of horror film fans who have a conscience, there's no way I would sit comfortably sitting and watching a Predators video, a Predators movie. There's no way I'm sitting there and doing it. It's my channel. Boo hoo. Don't care. Kill Count, my friend, Horror Boy on TikTok. Everybody mentioned it, but that's it. Are we gonna appreciate it? No, I don't care. I mean, the crime that he did to those kids in Cloud House, that movie that I will not put on any list I would. Absolutely not. He is not getting any credit whatsoever. I will not even mention his movies, period. I don't care. Even if it was the best film he did, I'm not going to give him credit. Absolutely not. Like Repulsion or Rosemary Baby, I'm not going to. No. Roman Polanski get nothing from me. I don't even like Rosemary Baby. So that film is just films that I don't like. Sorry. I don't like the remake. I don't even like the sequel they did, Rosemary Child, whatever the fuck it is. No. That film is not gonna get any kind of oh, you should see that. No, they're not getting any of that from me. Period. That film will sit there collecting dust of things that I don't care. That film will not be getting an honorable mention. That films won't get any kind of you gotta see it. That film's not even gonna get a I want to watch it on Hulu. You will not get nothing. I don't care. For real. That film don't deserve the respect it gets. I don't care if people will get mad at me saying that, well, if you're a film critic, you should accept this. You should sit there and guess what? I am a film critic, but at the same time, that does not mean that I'm going to give a Predator or any of his goddamn fan base any kind of recognition, period. They will not get a dime from me. They will not get a single penny from me. I will not care. I will not. Some of the films, sure, you can find it online, but I will not give Jeepers Creepers any of my damn competitions. No, whatsoever. I won't. I shall not. I will not. And I don't care because that's one movie that literally is just trash. It was trash when it came out, and it's trash now that they want to give it a freaking sequel. It's trash. I'm sorry. I don't care. Matter of fact, I'm not sorry. I'm not sorry because there's plenty of horror movie fans out there that sat there and say, ain't no damn way in hell. And for those who sat there and wanted to really say, it's okay, it's fine. We can separate the artist from the work. But the moment you mention about, okay, what about Rosemary Baby then? You get the side of like, there's no way I'm going to review Roman Polanski film. No. If that's the case, you should not remove that man, okay? I'm not even gonna give him freaking credit. I'm not. Screw his work. Cloud House was trash. Because of what he did to those kids back behind the scenes is trash. Don't care. That was a trash move completely. It got arrested, only served, 15 months. Okay, sure, whatever. Then you just laugh it off, and plus you were friends with freaking Harvey Weinstein, which is, he's already in freaking court trial in freaking LA for what he did during the Me Too movement at the time of the movement. But we ain't gonna get there, because that's a whole different subject, a whole different animal. But you already know who he is, and I don't think anybody really needs to watch any of the sequels. I don't care. We should not care. Oh, I mean, the director. No. You're not getting no credit. No credit whatsoever. I know it's Halloween, and I know people want to watch, but that is one horror film that a director I will not be caught dead watching. That's for sure. Matter of fact, I don't even care what people will say. I don't care if people are ticked off that I even made the film. Okay, sure. And I don't care. You can hate me all you want to. I don't care. I mean, the whole. I am saying this completely and utterly discussion. I don't care. This film should not even see the light of day. I don't care. It's just no. No, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm not sorry, but your work it's just he should do another movie. He should never do anything. And I don't even think that it's just I just it's just it's crap. That's all I can. It's crap. I know a lot of people say, well, you can see Jeepers Creepers, you can see those films, you can see Reborn. It's not. No, absolutely not. No, I just don't feel comfortable watching any of his work. I know a lot of people say, well, it's different from the director, it's different from everybody else, it's different from things like that. No, I don't care. I'm not gonna sit here and give him credit. It's a no. So, that being said, none of his films will be reviewed. None of his films will be mentioned. I'm not even gonna mention the motherfucker's name because you already know who directed First Freezer Keeper, so you can do research on that. I don't care. No, don't care at all. I don't. I don't. I don't. You're getting nothing from me. Absolutely nothing. Matter of fact, now that I got enough energy, I was gonna end the show thing as that's my list. I didn't know because now I'm hyped after talking about it. So guess what? I'm gonna make a list about horror films that are overrated. I wrote that list as a joke, and I said, you know what? Why not? Why not go through my list completely? So guess what? Notes is from here. Already know it. Already said it. Don't care. Let's go. So here's the horror movies that are freaking highly overrated. And it's gonna be controversial too, so be prepared to actually hold on to your freaking hats because it's gonna be shocking as to why it's overrated. Okay? So let's go. Honorable mentions. I will be honorable mentioning some horror films that I feel like it's been played to death, but it haven't gotten the full, oh please, whatever, kind of thought. So honorable mention has to go to Hostel 2. It's mentioned because it's a sequel to Hostel. It was mentioned, but it's never like, oh yeah, because Hostel 2. Yeah, it's mostly like, yeah, then you have Hostel 2. But Hostel 1, man, that film was crazy. Yeah, it made a sequel, don't pay attention. But yeah, Hostel was crazy. It's like, okay, yeah, it's part of Hostel, but it never get talked that much. Except the scene with the girl hanging upside down to see, cut thing, cut her. That's the only scene that is mentioned. It's only talked about that. But everything else, I mean, like, people just talk about part 1 like it's the great pause. And you're like, it made part 2 too, right? Like, you're not gonna recognize that? Like that whole thing, like, it's just, what do you do? That kind of moment. Like, you just sit there like, what are you doing? It's crazy. Yeah, it is just, but it's not overdone to death. In my book, it's not overdone to death. It's mentioned, but it's not shown in every damn countdown list. Mentioned in calm. It doesn't. It not mentioned that much. It's just also too. Yeah, and that was it. So it's an honorable mention. It's played, but not played enough. Another honorable mention I have to give. It has not really been talked too much to death, but it is kind of like, oh, did you see that? Yeah, did you see that? Yeah. And that is shockingly VHS. I mean, the sequel is talked to death completely. The part 2 was talked completely, but part 1 is like, yeah, but it was good. But not as good as this one. Like, it's mentioned, but it's not like been played like completely over and over and over every Halloween. It's just like, okay, we're gonna play it once, and then we're gonna play all the rest of all the sequels. But we're just gonna put that right there. Like, it's like, how you gonna disrespect part 1 and you just play part 2, 3, 4, and the new one to death that's about to come out, which is 1995, I think. You played those films completely, but you just kind of put part 1 like, we're gonna put it right there, but we're gonna put your twin up. It's like, okay, I don't see it play that much on Sci-Fi or any other channel, so I guess that's a blessing. But it's like, come on now, you gotta pay respect to your first. Like, you gotta play your part 1 with like a little bit of respect, like, for real. Like, you can't just go whatever and focus on all the children. It's like, come on now. Honorable mentions, but here we go. So now that we got out of the way, let's go with something that I really think a lot of people are going to be shocked. And my list for films that are highly overrated for Halloween season as to why. And the first one, and I know that I'm going to be hated for life, and I don't care, is Nightmare on Elm Street. Why? Okay. Every Halloween. Every Halloween. We play that. Over and over again. Not just part one. Part one, two, three. Sometimes four. But you're not going to mention New Nightmare. You're just going to just... That's all there is. You played moments where he's completely annoying. We're gonna play that, but we ain't gonna play New Nightmare because nobody's gonna talk about it. We're just gonna pretend it doesn't exist. And you do show it like that. Like you usually show like almost the end of Halloween. You're like, oh, so you're gonna pull that stunt. That stunt. You're gonna pull that. We all know the story about, Freddy Krueger. We all know that. Okay. Sure. This character, was burnt alive. I ain't got money, y'all. Help me, girl, out. I'm trying to get those ring lights so they can pop right for you. So that's what I can get. So I'll probably say let me get that in a green screen. I need editors. But I mean, Freddy Krueger is a child, what? And people love this guy. Oh, Freddy Krueger, he is crazy. Yo, you see that? Wow, he's scary. Of course he's fucking scary. We also forgot to mention that he's a pedo. And a child killer. We forgot about that. We mentioned about him being burnt alive for crime, but we don't mention that in, Freddy Ends, they totally explain why. And then people are like, oh. We're gonna ignore this. We just gonna focus on these. It's like, if I see one more Freddy Krueger in a countdown list, I'm gonna scream like I'm a white woman in church. I will flip out. I mean, Robert Englund made other horror films, ladies and gentlemen. Why you gotta keep throwing that up in our face? Okay, we got it. First time, okay. Second time, cool. But the 5th, 8th, 9th, 7th, 16th time, it started to become annoying. Hell, I'd rather take the remake. At least it's different. No, I'm not even gonna take the remake, because the remake by itself is trash. Well, I'd rather take New Nightmare. Because it shows that Freddy Krueger was not joking. The rest, wow, stuff. But this, New Nightmare Freddy Krueger was like, I ain't effing with y'all. Y'all made fun of me. Let me show you how I can do that kind of stuff. But nope, we're gonna play part 1 and 4. We're gonna play them again at repeat. But meanwhile, you don't play Jason that much. Oh, I'm sorry. You only play him when it's Friday the 13th. Not that much during Halloween. Just Friday the 13th we'll play. But that's all we're gonna give him. We're gonna give him his days. You mean to tell me you cram a whole day catalog of his in one day, but you can't do that for him during Halloween? You can't do that? You can't have it go neck to neck? You can't do that. You just everything in one day. Okay. Shady bastards. That's all I'm gonna say. Shady bastards. Ain't no damn respect in the world. Ain't no respect in the world. You just gonna have this freaking Deadpool's uncle up here every day of Halloween, but you can't give that for freaking Jason. No. I was on TV today. I tried to Google to see if Friday the 13th was gonna play. Ain't no way. I have been watching Hulu horror films and I have not seen one damn freaking Friday the 13th. Really? I can see Michael Myers because he's the king of Halloween slasher. Come on now. You mean to tell me you can't put Jason in there? Okay. And look, I know that we all supposed to be giving Michael Myers his flowers because we don't know if Halloween Ends is going to be the last swan song, so we all giving credit where credit's due, giving him the flowers. But come on now. I mean, I cannot sit here and see another damn Friday the 13th film. Really? But meanwhile, I gotta freaking turn on my TV and freaking Freddy Krueger face plastered on my damn screen. Really, bruh? I can't see that, but I can see that every damn countdown on YouTube. mentioned on TikTok. This man got more freaking followers and mentioned than anything else on here. Are you serious? We can't put Jason in here? Okay. Okay. Alright. Okay. You can't even mention freaking New Nightmare. You ain't gonna put that in there either? Okay. Alright. Okay. We see where we go. Okay. Whatever. My another overrated film, horror film of this season has to be, and I know it's Hannibal Holocaust. We get it. We got it. It's iconic. Fabulous. Could put Cannibal Flux in there. Nope, you just gotta put in Hannibal Holocaust every Halloween. Okay. Okay. We get it. It was shocking. Okay, we got it. But there were other Italian horror films that came out around that time that you don't have to put in. Why is Hannibal Holocaust is always on every dang list? Why is that? You can't find any other cannibal film. You can't find any other I Eat Your Skin, a Hong Kong film. Meat Grinder, a Thai film. What's another film? I think there was a couple of films in America that you could probably use. No, you just had to use Hannibal Holocaust. Matter of fact, hold on. Hold on. I need to see something. I mean, there has to be American cannibalism films. Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn, entire series. Okay, The Green Inferno. You could put any of those horror films on there to replace freaking human cannibal. You could put on you could put Cannibal Holocaust. You could. I just named a couple. This is. I don't get it. Make Them Die Slowly could have been on this. You could have played that. Could have played that. You could have played Wrong Turn. Wrong Turn is a freaking underrated film. I personally think it don't get played a lot. That film was weird. That film was creepy around that time, okay? Why was that not getting played a lot? Why do we always gotta go back to freaking Cannibal Holocaust? Every dang year, we always gotta talk about cannibalism, and it's the first film that we mentioned. You could put like any other cannibal film. I Eat Your Skin from your Hong Kong horror films. You can't do anything. You can't do anything. You just gotta put Cannibal Holocaust. It's almost like if you were if horror movie fans were betting people and they bet any cat loud is gonna have a Cannibal Holocaust, they would be rich by now for real. Again, and again, and again, and again, and again. You sit there and you say, what other cannibal film from Italy could you put yourself in? Could put City of the Dead in there. Could put City of the Living Dead. Could put it at... No, you just gotta go to the Holocaust. You just have to do that. See, there's a lot of people don't really... I'm aggravated. You could find any other freaking... To any YouTuber or any YouTube countdown channel, please find another freaking Cannibal Holocaust or ripoff or something. Because we get tired of seeing freaking Cannibal Holocaust on all y'all lists. Find something different. I just gave you a list of other films that you can watch about cannibalism. There are other films about cannibalism. You could put The Green Inferno in there. That's a new film. That is freaking more scary than anybody. People think that that's scarier than freaking Cannibal Holocaust. Why do you always come to depend on these people? y'all, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe they. Okay, whatever. Don't care. Don't care. Now, if I bet I could list a couple of them. I bet I can't. I bet I don't have a screen to show, but I'm too done. Too done. Too freaking done. Too done. Another film that I think that shit is actually overrated as to why it has to be the Human Centipede series. I'm sorry. The first time, weird. Part two, freaking scary. And then part three came out. And it was at that moment we all sat there and said, also they're trolling. Okay, fine, bet. And we just walked away. Horror films is like a trend. For real. Horror films are trends. If you start questioning and start making fun of your fan base, then guess what? You're just gonna be left there by yourself. I know a lot of people are probably gonna say, "Marty, you're wrong for what you're gonna say," and I'm not wrong because I know what I'm gonna say is freaking wrong, but it's the truth because I know I'm not the only one. Okay. The whole series. No, not even the whole series. Let me rephrase that. Okay, let me rephrase that. Part two is overrated as F. It is overrated. It's get played over and over and over and over and over and over. It keep mentioning so many times that it's up there with Siberian Film, which is also on this list, and I don't care. Part one is just. Yeah, part one was freaking weird. That was scary. But did you not see part two? And it's like, are you serious? Are you serious? Horror movie fans are very fickle. Horror film is like a trend. Either you in today and you gone tomorrow. When you start getting your crap paid so many times that means so scary, so scary, so scary, it starts to lose value. And freaking Human Centipede 2 is starting to lose value. Part 3 was starting to lose value. It was only mentioned once, but part 1 and 2 lost their value. Every Halloween season. I mean, okay, maybe showed once in the Midnight Horror series. Okay. But every fucking day during Halloween. And it's like Halloween's like, okay, but then when you start showing it after Halloween, it just show it, it loses value during Halloween. Halloween is weak. October is a special case. That's like you pull out your good china during a holiday. That's what it is. You pull out your good china. You pull out your good horror films when those months come. Human Centipede series is like you keep pulling out your good china every year that, every other day or like every day of the year that it starts to lose like, oh, that again? Can't find anything else. Like that kind of thing. Am I cynical? I don't care. Do I get tired of seeing it again and again on my screen? Yeah. Kinda am. I kinda am. My mom saw the film. She's like, I kinda got it. Ain't that huge. Kinda got it. It's alright. Nothing hoopla. I mean, like that kind of thing. It's just that kind of feeling you sit there, you just say, my God, let me guess, we're gonna do this again? Like that kind of thing. Like, you don't even see the descent that much anymore. You hear there, yeah, oh, I see it. But freaking Human Centipede, you see it in every damn freaking day. It loses values after a while. I guess maybe because people start saying Tom Six is supposed to make, the final extension. It's like, no. We're good. You don't have to. We don't want to see any more of this. Like, I already know, but it's like, no. We don't want to. It's okay. We're okay. We don't want to see it. It loses its value. It's overrated because it's the shock value. I guess maybe it's sad because when it came out, what in God name is this? Like the freak shock of it all. As you get older and the newer generation come out, they look at it and be like, "Oh, so we're gonna do that again? Okay, that's pretty cool. Whatever. Mm, okay, sure, whatever." But did you see that YouTube video? Like that kind of crap. Like they're so desensitized. And when you get older, you look back at some horror films that's still scary and say, "Yo, that's scary stuff at this time. It's still scary." When you look at Human Centipede, wow, that's interesting. Okay. There's no shock to it. Like, oh my god. Like, there are horror films, I ain't gonna lie. There are horror films that came out this year that you sit there and say, I ain't gonna sleep for a while. Or, oh my god. Like, that kind of moves. Like, you have seen some films. Heck, you should see a lot of independent filmmakers that sat there and said, I'm gonna stick this with a little bit of money I have. And you sit there and you say, oh my god. You got that. But Human Centipede got played so much that you just kind of lose value. Like, you just, oh, we're going to get paid again. Okay. Like, that kind of thing. Like, you lose values after a while. That's why I said it's overrated. Just like Siberian film. Before it used to be very secretive. If you find it, oh my god. Hush, hush. Everybody see that, oh my god. It's freaking scary. It's disgusting. Now it's like, wow. Siberian film. Cool. See, when I go see that Elm Street, is being back in the theaters. Like, you don't even have that many people's attention anymore. I'm sorry, Siberian film don't have that much attention no more. I would rather sit there and watch Evil Dead Trap than sit there and watch freaking Siberian film. That's how sad it is. And that film came out in the early thousands. Evil Dead Trap came out in the 80s. And that got some more shock than this. That's how it is. That film, Siberian film, and Human Centipede series got nothing off of the Evil Dead Trap. And that was mostly right off the coattail of the Evil Dead. That got more value and shock than them two. That's the saddest thing about them two. They're both on that list together. It does. I'm sorry. Evil Dead Trap is underrated because not that many people talk about it, because anytime they talk about it, it's like, well, it's really gory, but they talk about part two. Part two and part one of the Evil Dead Trap series, which I mentioned on my list, is underrated. And I think it's very happy that they're finally getting the recognition that they get now. I just think that like, it is trash. I mean, when it came out, oh my god. But it's like now, like, people watch it, it's like, oh, okay. Like, there are other films that came out recently that you sit there and say, who approved of this? This is some scary crap. Hell, Blonde from Netflix, a fictional tale about Mel Monroe, has more shock value and scare than freaking Siberian film. It is more shocking and more appalling than the Human Centipede. And it's about a real person with a fictional life. Really? Too dumb. Too dumb. That's on my list, is pretty much Saw. Saw 2 used to be talked about a lot. Saw 2 used to be talked about a lot. But then it disappeared. That whole, yes, Saw 2 was great. Saw 2, oh my god. And then mysteriously, Saw 1 is the best thing ever. And they would play Saw 1 to death. It's almost like, wow, y'all forgot everything else. But then again, I mean, after part 4 and 5, I too probably played the hell out of part 1 and 2. But the final chapter was decent. It was good. It was a good film. Hell, although it was a lot better than Spiral. So, the Book of Saw. So, I got that. So, I'm not going further. Yeah. So, is that one film that you sit there, you say, you know what? It's a good film. But why? I mean, I can see why. I can see why people would sit there and say that it got played to death. And it did. Because I guess some people are afraid that Saw 1 is just going to be completely erased in time. And it's not. But they play like it's going to be the last day ever. They play that stuff like it ain't nothing. So when Halloween come, you already know. It's like, okay, we get it. It's part 1. We got it. We got it. We're okay. It's not going nowhere. We all remember it. We all remember part 1 and 2. Okay, you don't have to keep rubbing it in our face of how great it was because then you're gonna make us regret what happened after. I'm sorry. Like after part 3, I mean, we gonna pray on it. I mean, the final chapter was the final chapter. It was alright. That's all. You just gotta sit there like, okay, you really killing us right now. Okay, you killing us. You are killing us right now. This is a game. We got it. We can. We could. You don't have to keep playing it every single day. And Halloween, we got it. We're cool. We got it. We're okay. Enough. It's not going anywhere. We already know that you try to keep part 1 legacy alive, but you don't have to keep throwing it in our face every 32 seconds. It's okay. It's fine. You know what? That's okay. That's fine. I mean, it get played. It's overrated. But I guess it's overrated for a reason because I guess they want to say, "Hey, remember when Saw was great? Remember?" And it's like, yes, we know. You know it's great. We got it. You can stop now. You can. Nobody gonna tell. You know that kind of moment. Like, okay, okay, Janda. Okay, you can stop now, dear. You can stop. We get it. Like that kind of thing. Like you don't want to hurt anybody's feelings if you keep playing part 1 over and over again because we all complain about part 4 and 3. We already got it. We get it. We got it. You can stop. Enough. You can stop. But that's my list. That's my list of films that are overrated. I'm not done with films that are not overrated but are underrated. I did mention uh, Evil Dead Trap 2 is underrated. And part 1 is there, but it's not overrated because not that many people heard about it. That film is underrated because it has values and it's sharp, but I guess the reason why not that many people pick up on it is because at the time, The Evil Dead came out. So, hey, it was a big hit. So everybody was hopping on the Evil Dead train. And unfortunately, poor China, Hong Kong cinema, you got the Evil Dead Trap 1 and 2 that were really good, but it was like, no, it's just by itself, it's part of that. You're like, wait a minute, come on now, it was a good film. So unfortunately, it's underrated because of that. It's sad, but it's true. So I do think that's one film that I think is underrated. I also mentioned underrated. I did mention Ben, which is a spin-off off of Willard, is being underrated. It's underrated because when we think of creature features, we think of animal attacks. Jaws and Cujo come to our mind. Those are the names that completely frighten people. But we also mentioned about B-rated films. We're like, oh god, Piranha. Okay, it was B-rated. It came out at the same time as Saw. You had Jaws. Still scared of the water. Okay, cool. But then people mentioned Willard. Now, unfortunately, Willard came around a time where people hated rats. So, rats, stuff like that. So Willard pretty much like, oh yeah, I remember Willard. What was it about again? Stuff like that. And everybody remember Willard, okay, because of the dude. But then, I guess people just forgot that, Ben had a spinoff. Ben was like, wait a minute, hold on, I read a movie. And the word problem is people just remember Ben because it won an Oscar. Because of Michael Jackson theme song, Ben, the two of us. I can't say the rest because they got money for fucking um, copyright. So, but everybody remember Ben. Ben is a precious. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. It's just one of those films you sit there and you just go, okay, all right, it's cool. We got it. It's about all right. That's all people are gonna say. It's about all right. And the only thing you got going for them that people remembered, and I hate it for that, is that, it won an award, an Oscar, matter of fact. It won an Oscar for the feast. And that's the saddest thing because you can't take. I don't know. I don't know. I mean, you ever sit there and look at a horror film and just go, well, I mean, at least it won something. At least it won something. At least it got something. You can't get mad at it. And you sit there, you're like, how am I gonna sit here and make a sad song about a killer rat? You just sort of sit there. You're like, who approved of this idea of it getting a a, a killer rat? That's the funniest thing because you gotta sit there. You just say, who approved of it? Like that kind of like you just have to sit there and like they're crazy. Like they can't. They really did this. Like it won a Golden Globe. And that's the saddest part because you sit there and you say, why? This is not supposed to be a cute song. This is not supposed to be, it's about a murderous rat. But at the same time, and this is how morbid it is, at the same time, the movie is a revenge film. That's what it is. The movie is a revenge film about this poor little kid who was bullied and all this stuff. And it was nominated for a damn freaking Oscar. But it won a Golden Globe. That's the whole thing. Like you sit there and you just I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It is. It's a sad. It's a sad film. Even though Ben ain't his former owner. If you watch Willard and you see Ben, you will understand that this film is underrated. It is underrated on the longest idea ever. And I think people should really see the film. I'm laughing because it's like, how the hell it got nominated for an Oscar about a killer rat? But see it. You can see the original Willard from the 70s. You can see that. Just see it. You'll understand. You understand. The next film that I think is underrated is The House of Long Shadows. Peter Cushing, Christopher Lee, Vincent Price in a comedy. How can you not see it? How can you not see? And they're in a comedy together. A comedy together. I mean, I sent emails. Jesus Christ, why people? Why would you leave me alone? Sorry, but you have a comic with some of the greatest legendary horror icons are together now. Any horror film, okay? You have John Carney, which I forgot about that, which if you don't know who he is, he was also in a couple good British horror films as well. He was really huge as well. And I think one of the horror films, one of the films was like Grape of Wrath and stuff like that. So he was also in a lot of good TV horror films, like Twilight Zone and stuff. But you have him, and you sit there, you like, how in the world can you get these people together to make a horror film? This guy had lasted all the way to the 90s, pretty much. And he was in a lot of great horror films. He was in also like Around the World in 80 Days and stuff like that. And you have him in these great films, in these wonderful films, and you have him team up with three legendary actors of horror: Vincent Price, Christopher Lee, and Peter Cushing. You got them together in a British horror comedy. And there's no way that film is not being shown. That film it's a crime. Okay? It's a crime for nobody to. That film is underrated, my book. That film is underrated. You got masters of horror in this film making fun of themselves and actually just having a ball in this film. There's no way. Okay, there's no way. No way. And not only that, it's just it's a it's a it's a beauty. I seen this film when I like in college. Yeah, one time during the BBC horror classic, and that film is just gold. Like that's the type of film you sit there and you just say, if there was ever a pinnacle of British comedy horror, Long Shadows, House of Long Shadows is that film I can vouch for. That is up there with Mr. Vampire series in my list. That film, that and The Raven, which I think is another comic film that I really think Vincent Price is just a freaking genius. So I just think he was great. I'm gonna do a list about him the next go around, but I had to fucking do notes and shit like that because it just popped up right in my head. But I'm serious. That film is classic. That film is underrated. I don't see it that much on TCM. TCM, please play. But like that film is just insanely funny. Yeah, you kind of sit there like, how can they really make this a joke? And then when you see it, it's like, okay, yeah, they nailed that. That was magic. That was hard magic to make it a comedy and at the same time to make it funny. That's classic. That film is underrated. That film is underrated completely. That needed to be released on DVD ASAP. Like Arrow Video need to get a hold of that, remaster it, and present it to the public. Because that film is funny. Okay, that film is class act. It is underrated, highly underrated in my book. Because I don't see it get played that much. I mean, I see like it get mentioned, like it's a good film, like you have Vincent Price listed, but I really don't think it do justice if you just list it. You have to see it in its entirety, completely. And not only that, but you have like Peter Cushing and Christopher Lee making fun of their own career, and somehow they just do it with the most deadpan comedy to the point where it's like this is gold. Like this is gold completely. So that's it. Another film that I think is underrated. And I think it's sad because not that many people heard about it. It's the Whispering Corridor series in Korea. Part one is mentioned, but the sequels are not. A lot of people said that this film really blew up the whole K horror field in the early '90s, and then it just kind of, whispered off. The pun intended. But like it was a huge hit. It was a hit when it came internationally, and then Ring came out. And then, and then The Grudge came out, and then it's like poor little Whispering Corridor is like, hey, wait, what about me? Kind of thing like that. But Whispering Corridors 2 to 4, I think, because one is called Blood Ties. I think hit me up. That film is just underrated. Like when it's like a list of horror films, yeah, One Missed Call is mentioned. Yeah, some Korean films are mentioned here and there. Mostly, Tales of Two Sisters is like completely up there. A lot of people are like, why can't you put that underrated? It's like, well, it could, but the way that they presented it, it's like, if you know, you know, kind of thing, and not just completely show to you over and over again. It's a very selective viewing, but Whispering Corridors, Memento Mori, Voices, Blood Ties, like those kind of films in the Whispering Corridor series, which, yes, it is a series because it's all taking place in one school. so, so you sit there, you're like, okay. But it's a very underrated film. It don't get talked that much every Halloween. It don't get mentioned that much on, Korean pop channels when they celebrate Halloween. It don't get played that much. Part 1 does. But part 2 to 3 it don't really get played, and part 4 is like, hey, it's like, well, wait a minute, you gotta focus on the rest of them. Like they're good films. I've seen the series. I see the series. I mean, it's really just a film that really a lot of people really should see like once in a while because it's a good movie. It's a good movie. It came out in '98. The first one came out in '98, which is really, 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 really kind of grand right there. And it's just it was one of those films where you sit there, kind of like, oh well, the first day video. No, it was called Blood Pledge. But the film itself was pretty good, but it don't get taught that much. I mean, from part 1, it don't get talked about, but like part 2 to 4, it's just yeah, okay. And then like my friend said, oh well, guess what? They're gonna make part 5, which is called A Humming, which my friend just sent me that link. She shout out to her. She don't have to be on camera. I don't like to be talking on camera. But it's just it's just really one of those films that you sit there like it got Blood Pledge, The Voice, The Stare, Wishing Stairs, and Memento Mori, and like Memento Mori, which I have seen several times, is a really beautiful film. It's a really good horror film. Voice is also a really good horror film as well, but it doesn't get that much recognition compared to Wishing Stairs, which personally it is overplayed because a lot of people mention about that and not the others. And Blood Pledge is pretty much like, okay, it's cool, fine. But I mean, I really think part 2 to 4 is really underrated. I really highly suggest people to watch 2 to 4 because 2 to 4 is just really one of those good horror films and you just series that it's a shame that it's such a good series, but part 1 gets all the talk. I could put part 1 as overrated, but because it's so popular within the Korean horror movie group, that not that many like if you're not really that interested in Korean horror films, it's okay, whatever. So it's a very small majority of people who are in the horror community that really watch, you know, international horror films, especially in Asia. And a lot of people say The Ring or The Grudge is kind of overplayed, but the only reason why they're so different is because mostly tell a story between the prequel, now, and the future. So it's all connected, even though Sakura versus Sato versus films, The Ring versus the Grudge, that was a little questionable, but the Whispering Corridor series is a good series that's underrated from part 2 to 4. Part 1 does get played a lot because it was so groundbreaking at the time, but at the same time, it kind of didn't get the whole big boom effect like Ringu and the Grudge did. And then, it started to bounce back a little bit, in the early thousands when Korean pop music came into play, and then Korean, pop and whatever. And then, the first part 1 of, Whisper Corridor started getting played, but a lot of people didn't really pay attention that much to Momentum Mori, Voice. The Whispering Stairs got mentioned a hell of a lot of times when it first came out, but after that, it was just kind of like, kind of shoot to the side at the time, and then the Blood Pinch tried to revise it, and it was like, okay, so it was like, okay, fine, we'll play along, and that's when people start watching a lot of Korean dramas and Korean films and stuff, and then that's when they kind of do it. But the others, part 2 to 4, which is the Blood Pledge, was kind of just floating. I mean, I'm sure it got played a lot in Korea, but for horror movie fans, die ones, it did not get that kind of recognition that much. So it's sad, but it's true. So I wish it did, but you know, to each his own. So, but yeah. So yeah. Another film which I think is completely overrated. Well, no, sorry, underrated. Which I really feel sorry about it because it's such a good film. It, it's a fabulous film. People should really see it and take it seriously. Um, the film that I really think is completely underrated, illegally underrated, wholeheartedly, has to be um it's the Suicide You Know What, the Uka-eyed Circle Club. I can't say that S word, but it's the Unalive Club. The Unalive Club, I'm just gonna put that in because you already know what it is. It's just a great film of, of complete brilliance of how it's made. It's a great film. The fact that it doesn't get talked that much is a crime. I don't hear people talk about it that much. People in the media don't talk about it that much. A lot of horror movie fans mention it, but it's just so illegally underrated. It's just one of those films that you sit there, you just say, how can this film not be mentioned? How can this film not be, you know, it's just a very bad film. It's a bad butt film. Like it's just so good. And the very fact that not that many people mention about it, it's just so sad. It is sad. It is a sad. Sadako is kind of my friend mentioned that. Thank you very much. But another horror film that I think is just so beautiful that don't get talked that much anymore. And it's a beautiful film. It's a fabulous film. I don't care what anybody say. I will fight to the nearest dark waters of the earth. I will. And that was one of them. That film, and I think the film is starting to get momentum. I think the film is starting to get an audience, an international audience, but it's still so underplayed. Perfect Blue. It's part of the deep Stalin series, I think. Perfect Blue is very underrated. It is so illegally underrated. And I think now with a lot of people are interested in a lot of animes as it is, and a lot of people finding more material about different horror films and animes, it is so underrated. It's criminally underrated until recently. But the fact that it almost took them like what 2000 and what 2022 for people to find like, yo, you heard this film? It's called Perfect Blue. Yo, it's dope. Like for real. Like all beforehand, like people didn't really take anime horror very seriously. And then it started to, and then people are like, oh, okay, but it should have been up there. To be really honest, it should have been paid attention, focus like it's up there with Tokyo Ghoul or Berserk. It has that kind of sense of uncontrollable fear, and paranoia. That film is underrated. I don't care what anybody. I mean, it took them long enough to finally release a Blu-ray special edition. That should have been released the day it was released, but not that many people were, effing with anime until Tokyo Ghoul came out. Then people were like, "Yeah, anime is not for kids. This is proof." It's like, well, anime been not for kids. Have you not seen Perfect Blue? Anime can be scary. It's like anime can be scary. It can be frightening. It can be a nightmare. Like that kind of stuff. I mean, like that film is just underrated to the brims. However, I do think that Berserk is also underrated until recently when people start really paying attention to like anime films, and then it's like, oh, so this is what we've been missing. Like, yeah, you have been missing that. Where have you been? Like that kind of thing. But I just think those films are so underrated that literally it's a crime that we just talk about it now. There you go. So that's my 2 hour video. Jesus Christ. I didn't know how to edit these stuff. But so yeah, I will be doing another list coming up soon. In the meantime, I'm gonna check out everything. Again, this is Europopper. Hit that subscribe button and that like button and knock the living daylights out of that bell button so you can get more stuff from me. Give me some time. I'm trying to figure out how to work all this, but so far some people like my videos, so yeah, I gotta get like a ring light or something so that way people can see my face instead of this bootleg stuff right here. But until that, this is your girl, your popper. Happy Halloween, everybody. This Halloween week is really crazy. It's already swinging by, so don't forget to vote as well. Early voting as well, wherever you are. But until then, this is your preppy signing off. So I'll see you on the flip side. Bye.